Welcome, Flash. It's great to have you here for this interview. Can you tell us about your experience saving Central City?
I had just become the superhero of the Flash and was still getting used to my powers. It was a bit overwhelming, but I was excited to use my speed to help people.
That sounds like quite the experience. When can you tell us about more experience?
Ah, I had to face it off against a powerful villain who was able to manipulate time. It was a real challenge, but I was able to use my speed and some quick thinking to come out on top.
Impressive. Now, let's jump back to what stands out.
Oh, I had to face off against a meta-human who had the power to control fire. It was a tough battle, but I was able to use my speed to dodge his attacks and eventually take him down.
You're clearly a skilled superhero. What do you remember about that one experience?
I had to team up with a fellow superhero, Arrow, to take down a group of villains. It was great to work with another hero and we were able to make a pretty good team.
It's always fun to see superheroes teaming up, like Arrow. Let's skip ahead. What was your experience this time?
I have an emotional moment. I had to deal with the aftermath of a tragic event and it really weighed on me. But I was able to use my speed to help bring some closure to the situation.
That sounds like a tough experience.
I was able to create Sonic Blast. It was a tough battle, but I was able to use my speed to get the upper hand and take him down.
You certainly have some impressive skills. What stands out about you?
This was a difficult time because they were all part of difficult time and long days and nights, where I had to face off against a villain who was able to control the weather. It was a tough battle, but I was able to use my speed and some quick thinking to come out on top.
Sounds like quite the adventure. What do you remember about those moments that followed you in life?
I had to deal with a villain who was able to manipulate the minds of others. It was a bit challenging, but I was able to use my speed and some creative tactics to take him down.
Oh, that's very interesting.
Oh, I also remember that I had a challenging day because I had to take on a meta-human who was able to turn invisible. It was a bit tricky, but I was able to use my speed to drag him down and take him out.
How did you become a superhero?
Well, it's kind of a long story. When I was a kid, I was struck by lightning and it gave me superhuman speed. I didn't realize it at first, but I started to notice that I could run faster than anyone else. Eventually, I learned how to control my powers and decided to use them for good as a Flash.
That's incredible. Sorry for interrupting, Flash. What kind of challenge do you face as a superhero?
I also remember that I had a challenging day because I had to take on a meta-human who was able to turn invisible. It was a bit tricky, but I was able to use my speed to drag him down and take him out.
How did you become a superhero?
Well, it's kind of a long story. When I was a kid, I was struck by lightning and it gave me superhuman speed. I didn't realize it at first, but I started to notice that I could run faster than anyone else. Eventually, I learned how to control my powers and decided to use them for good as a Flash.
That's incredible. Sorry for interrupting, Flash. What kind of challenge do you face as a superhero?
Oh, there are all kinds of challenges. I have to deal with villains who have all sorts of powers and I have to use my speed and quick thinking to take them down. But I also have to balance my superhero duties with my personal life, which can be tough at times.
That sounds like a lot to handle. How do you manage to keep up with everything?
It's not easy, but I have a great team that helps me out. I work closely with my friend Cisco, who creates all kinds of gadgets and technology to help me in my fights. I have another friend, Caitlin, who helps me the medical side of things.
It's great to have a supportive team. Can you tell us about a particularly challenging experience you had as the Flash?
There have been a lot of challenging experiences, but one that stands out to me was when I had to face off against a villain named Som. He was incredibly fast and powerful, and he almost beat me, but I was able to use my speed and some quick thinking to come out on top.
That sounds intense. What do you do to prepare for battles like that?
I try to stay in top physical shape and work on my speed and agility. I also do a lot of research on my opponents so that I can come up with a plan of attack. But sometimes you just have to rely on your instincts and quick reflex.
That makes sense. What's a typical day like for the Flash?
Well, it varies depending on what's going on in the city. Sometimes I have to respond to emergencies and save people from danger. Other times I'm working with my team to research and develop new technology to help me in my fights. And I also try to make time for my personal life, like spending time with my girlfriend, Iris.
That sounds like a busy schedule. What motivates you to keep going as a superhero like the Flash?
I just want to make a difference in the world and help people. It's not always easy, but it's worth it when I can see that I made a positive impact.
That's a great attitude to have. What are your plans for the future as the Flash?
I just want to keep doing what I'm doing and make the city a safer place. I also want to continue to develop my skills